Oh, howdy y'all, grab yourself a drink. It is time for some Path of Exile 1 discussion. In the time I've played PoE 1, there have been 2 player-run events that have gotten so big that Grinding Games has taken notice and has decided to make some changes to their plans in order to reflect some of the community excitement in these events. And the biggest of them is getting a limited rollout on console. More on that in a sec, but this is definitely one of the things that console players have requested very, very vocally, very, very many times. The second one of these, and probably the less significant, was Pox's private league during Settlers. This got so big that it resulted in Grinding Games running a number of additional events, such as the May private leagues events, and also I think the Freesia event that took place back in April. Before that, there was Gauntlet. Gauntlet was by far the largest player-run event from the time that it started, and essentially, it's Path of Exile 1 played on extreme hard mode. I'll put a link down in the description below to all of the mods that'll be in play, but to give you a little bit of a flavour of what's going on, if you're playing in this, you'll have the hardcore rule set making things less forgiving, you'll have the solo self-found rule set, making sure that you can't cooperate with other players, you're stuck on your own, and on top of that, you'll also have these map mods in play in area level 1 to 45, i.e. in the first couple of acts. 20% less damage taken by monsters. Monsters deal 20% increased damage, have 10% increased cast, attack, and movement speed, 2 additional projectiles, and they have 20% elemental penetration. What this means is the game becomes less about building a character that's tanky enough to endure almost everything from monsters and just dodging the things that are really big, and it becomes a bit more akin to the really old arcade game Gauntlet, where you wanted to try and avoid almost everything that was coming at you all of the time. It's one of those things a lot of people have fun with for a short period of time, then go back to the normal game afterwards with a sigh of relief, but they've definitely had some fun while they've been playing it. And it's definitely something that continues to grow. This is an event that typically attracts something like 30, 40, or even 50,000 players each time it's run, which is a lot more than any of the other private league events in the game. And in fact, it was the Gauntlet event that was the reason that Grinding Games first expanded the private league system beyond the 10,000 player cap. And then after that, they decided we're moving this entirely out of the private league system and we're going to run it as an event league instead, which is what it is to this day. So the big news is that this is now going to be available for console players. It's going to be available in a limited form because there is a prize pool that's been crowdfunded by Zizran, and that's going to be PC exclusive. However, if you're just wanting to play around with these mechanics, you will be able to do so on console for the first time. The Gauntlet itself starts in less than 48 hours, so it's definitely something that's getting close. If you've never played in the Gauntlet before, I would recommend giving it a go and playing it with a non-competitive mindset, where you're only really competing against yourself, see how far you can get, and if you stop having fun, then of course you can drop out of it, but as long as you keep having fun, stick with it. That's what I would recommend doing, and of course, there are those of you that are very competitive players, you know who you are, and in that case, you're probably getting really excited about some of the prize pools, because the Gauntlet prize pool is enormous. On top of this, Gauntlet makes for some fantastic viewing as well. So you'll be able to watch a whole bunch of people that are playing competitively in it. I'm not going to be competing in Gauntlet. I definitely wouldn't be competitive if I did go hard at it. And honestly, I need to force myself to take a little bit of a breather because Path of Exile 2's teaser season is coming soon. And I know I'm going to be extremely busy once that starts kicking off. In fact, given the timelines of when PoE 2's 0.3.0 is coming out, it's entirely plausible that just as the class Gauntlet is starting to get decided, just as things are getting really, really tense towards the end, we might start seeing the first teasers for Path of Exile 2's release as well. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. May your Varlobs have interesting results, and good luck in the Gauntlet if you choose to play. May your characters go splat in entertaining ways.